This squirrel screamed for help. It was the middle of a brutal summer heat wave, so he marched straight up to the first human he saw and just stood there, staring him down. The man had no clue what was happening. Why is this squirrel looking at me like that? The tiny paws reaching out, the desperate little eyes. So he grabbed his water bottle and tilted it down. And the squirrel grabbed it with both hands and drank like he hadn't had water in days. When he finally had enough, he simply turned around and ran back to his tree.
This mama deer watched in horror as her baby was trapped in a deep window well. She stayed close, helpless, and afraid while her tiny fawn struggled below. Then one man rushed over and carefully lifted the baby back to safety. The second that little fawn touched the grass, the mama deer looked back at the man for one quiet moment, as if she was thanking him. The moment its feet touched the grass, the baby ran straight to its mama, and together they finally walked away safe. Cars were coming, but this terrified deer couldn't move. Then one man did something incredible and gently guided the scared deer to safety. He stayed calm, made sure it was okay, and got it off the road just in time. Real heroes don't always wear capes.
This video went viral because people felt so bad for this bear. While the other bears were getting food, he was left behind and got pushed down. He stayed there, still looking up, still hoping someone would notice him. Then one kind man finally gave him something to eat. The bear ate it so fast, like he was afraid it would be taken away. And the look on his face after that showed how happy he was. Then he started clapping. He was so happy.
This woman was trying to give her adorable sea otter a snack, but she accidentally threw his food much too high. The tiny otter did everything he could, leaping over and over to grab it. It almost looked like he was trying to show off for her. The woman laughed at the hilarious moment and kept telling him not to bother, but he refused to give up. He slipped into the water and made one last big leap, but still couldn't reach it, so he looked a bit shy afterward. Then he swam over to her, and she asked him to do a few little tricks to earn his snack. And in the end, the otter finally got his well-earned treat.
He was abandoned by his mom right after birth with no warmth, no protection, and no one to hold him. So his caretakers gave him a stuffed monkey, and it became his only comfort. He slept with it, played with it, and held it close whenever he felt scared. The other monkeys rejected him. He tried to fit in, but they pushed him away. But in the end, everything changed because Punch finally found another monkey who accepted him. After being so alone for so long, he finally found the friendship and comfort he had always needed. And that's the part that touched so many hearts.
This deer was trapped on a frozen lake with no way to escape, and in some spots, the ice was dangerously thin. Every time it tried to move, it slipped helplessly across the ice. Then a firefighter risked everything to go after it. He got close, almost had the deer, but it suddenly slipped away again, making the whole rescue even more dangerous. One wrong move could have sent both of them through the ice. But the firefighter didn't give up. He carefully reached the deer again, secured it, and pulled it to safety. And in the end, one brave man saved a terrified animal that had nowhere else to go.
Everyone was confused when this giant dog suddenly started pulling the little girl through the water. But the reason why it did that was because a wave had just pulled her under. For one scary moment, she went underwater, and everything changed. But then the dog reacted fast and helped pull her back toward shore. What looked shocking at first was actually the moment this dog protected her like a real hero. This terrified wild deer thought he was the danger, but he was the only reason she survived. A man was out on his morning walk when he spotted a deer caught in a trap. She was scared, desperate, and fighting to get away. When he came closer, she panicked. She did not know he was there to help. He kept trying to remove the trap, but nothing worked. The struggle got more stressful by the second. Still, he refused to leave her like that. Then finally, after all that effort, the trap came off. She was free, but instead of running away, she stayed still, almost frozen in disbelief. Then the man gently reached out and petted her, and in that quiet moment, she looked at him like she was saying thank you. A few seconds later, she turned and disappeared back into the woods.
This tiny egg was about to become a death sentence until one man decided to break the rules of nature. A budgie was egg-bound, the egg stuck inside her body, slowly poisoning her. Most people would have walked away. He didn't. He helped her release the egg, her life saved in seconds. But the story doesn't end there, because now he had a tiny egg and no mother to hatch it. The egg was cracking. Something was alive inside, and it needed help, right now. Using nothing but his hands and a syringe, he fed this naked, blind, helpless creature, drop by drop, day by day. And that little bird that almost never existed, she now sits on his shoulder like she owns the place, because in a way, he gave her the whole world.
A wolf was attacking a baby deer on the side of the road, and one man knew he had to do something fast. He jumped out of his car and started yelling, and that was enough to scare the wolf away. But the little fawn was badly hurt and could not survive alone. So he took it home, treated its wounds, and cared for it every single day. What started as a terrifying moment became a rescue that saved its life. And after a month of healing, the baby deer finally got a second chance.